Welcome to Banner Day and the first day of spring. I'm Tom Samolak with John Hancock and proud to be representing the company here this morning on Banner Day. I join my many colleagues from John Hancock, city officials, the Boston Athletic Association, our friends at Marathon Sports, and all of you to unveil the first set of 500 banners that will line the streets not too long from now on race day on April 15th. These banners are inspired by the finish line and the city that brings us together each Patriots Day. Boston is the marathon that needs no introduction, but deserves one nonetheless. It's the oldest, it's the toughest, it's the most iconic. It's a proving ground for world-class elites and weekend warriors alike. Our race is a dynamic sporting and community event of determination and grit that draws 1 million spectators and tens of millions of charitable donations year after year. The Boston Marathon is the pride of our company, and John Hancock, as principal sponsor for 34 years, is honored to help keep the race running. With us today are Des Linden and Bill Rodgers, who are members of our John Hancock Elite Athletic Team. How about a round of applause for them? As you know, Des prevailed last year in freezing wind and driving rain, and that's probably minimizing the conditions, to become the first American open female winner in 33 years. Bill, a legend of the sport, won the Boston and New York City marathons 4 times each. Des and Bill represent what the marathon means to all of us. Their determination and perseverance, their ability to bring out the best in themselves, their inclusiveness to share their journey reflects the same attributes of hundreds of thousands of people, the runners, spectators, volunteers, charities, media, race and city, and public safety officials who ensure this race is always exceptional. Now, importantly, for the first time, this year's marathon falls on April 15th, the 6th anniversary of the 2013 race day tragedy. We remember the hundreds of people who were profoundly affected, the people who lost their lives, and we honor them. We recognize the resilience and resolution of the survivor community and thank them for continuing every day to inspire all of us. Now I have the honor of introducing our exceptional mayor. During Mayor Walsh's January State of the City address, he encouraged national leaders to look to Boston as an example of a city whose people depend on each other to build not only a better place to live, but a better world. And this is what the mayor said: if you want to learn how to bring people together, not push them apart, look to Boston. Look to the city of hope and heart. Look to the city of courage and champions. At a time when cities must lead, look to Boston, the leader of cities. So please join me in welcoming warmly our leader, the Honorable Martin J. Walsh. Mayor Walsh.
Thank you, Tom, and thank you for your words, and thank you for, you're as much a part of the marathon as the course itself, so thank you. And to John Hancock, the main sponsor, thank you as well. To Tom Grilk from the BAA, thank you, Tom, great to see you. To Bill Rodgers, a Boston legend. Every time I meet Bill, I think of being a little younger and watching him cross the finish line as part of this race. To Des Linden, congratulations. And I know last year was tough, but it was probably, as I talked to the runners, some people enjoyed the race because of the weather, and other people didn't. And I want to congratulate you on an incredible race. We look forward to this year's race in our city. It's the official start of marathon season. I was saying as I walked in, it's so fast from year to year to year. I was talking to Eddie Jacobs. I think he said this is his 48th marathon that he's doing. This is my 6th as mayor of the city. When you think about how quick the time goes by, and no day is the same. Usually when we do this unveiling of the banner, it's always a sunny, bright day, and then we kind of watch the weather forecast for what's going to happen on Marathon Day. So hopefully it's a nice day. We don't want much sun. We want kind of clouds, a little overcast, a little breeze, but that's what we want, right, for running? So we're going to request that right now. Anyone listening, help us out. But over the next month, we're going to be welcoming athletes from all over the world. That's going to transform our city into the biggest stage. The marathon represents everything that we stand for here in Boston. It's about grit, it's about heart, it's about resilience, it's about hope. For most people who cross the finish line, their journey doesn't start in Hopkinton. It started years ago. I met one runner a minute ago. She's going to do her first Boston Marathon. Where is she? Right here. She's going to do the first Boston Marathon. It started hundreds and thousands of miles ago for people who never thought. I've met so many people that when they talk about running the marathon, they never thought about running a Boston Marathon. They just were a runner that ran around Castle Island or ran through the streets of Roxbury, and then all of a sudden they're on the world stage, and I want to congratulate all of you. This is more than a race. It's a celebration of human spirit. That's true whether you're a runner, whether you're a wheelchair athlete, whether you're a volunteer, and I want to thank the volunteers who line the parade, who line the marathon route and help with everything that they do, or whether you're a fan, somebody that's going to come and watch the marathon. For 123 years, the marathon has brought our city together like nothing else. Recently, it has stood for something even bigger. As Tom mentioned, on Marathon Monday 2013, it was unthinkable. It was one of our darkest days. It also showed us the generosity and compassion of everyday people. It hurt our city, but it didn't defeat our city. We were bent that day, but we weren't broken that day. Since 2013, the marathon has also added a new component. It's become a movement. April 15th is One Boston Day. It's a day of service, reflection, and healing in our city. We honor the fallen with acts of kindness, big and small. And it's a day that Boston shines its brightest. And not just Boston. That brightness has gone throughout the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and all across our country. This is the first time, as Tom mentioned, that the marathon, One Boston Day, and the marathon fall on the same day. It will be a citywide day of service, and I'm asking everyone to do something good for your community, or on Monday, or the weekend leading up to it, be kind to somebody. Let's remember what happened that day and take that horrible incident that happened and turn it into something very positive for someone else today. We're asking you to go to onebostonday.org and tell us what you will do that day. And on the day of the marathon and One Boston Day, we're asking you to share your experiences and what you were able to do. We also remember those who we lost with permanent markers on Boylston Street. As you can see, we're working on them now. We have worked closely with the families to honor their loved ones in a meaningful way. They will reflect our city's spirit after the tragedy, bent but not broken. We're going to unveil them this summer. So we're going to continue, as you think. I don't think this box will be there on Marathon Monday. We'll get it out of there, or else Tom Grilic will be yelling at me across the street of the stands. But we are asking people to, as we unveil the memorial here on Boylston Street, we're going to do it later in the summer. 2013 shook our entire city, and everyone was affected. That's why we're also looking ways to memorialize Boston as a collective resilience. We're going to hold a citywide dialogue. We've selected consultants to help guide the conversation about a memorial or some type of remembrance, not bigger than the two markers, but including the two markers. And we hope that everyone will be participating in that conversation. The Boston Marathon has brought our city together for generations. On April 15th, the world will look to Boston once again. I want to thank all of you for carrying on this tradition and making it stronger every single year. I'd like to thank the BAA. I'd like to thank John Hancock. I'd like to thank all the athletes from all over the world that will come here. I'd like to thank the fans that come from all over the world as well, particularly from Boston. I want to thank all the people of Boston. I want to thank the race organizers and everyone who makes this such an important part. If you're walking by today and you stopped at this press conference, you are part of the 2019 Boston Marathon. I want to thank you for that. So I'd like to end, just want to also recognize City Council Matt O'Malley, who's here, who's run the marathon himself many times in memory of his sister. So thank you, Councilor, for being here today. And now I'm going to turn the podium back over to Tom.
Thank you, Mayor Walsh. Thank you for being here, as always, here and everywhere. He seems to be everywhere, every day throughout the city, and we appreciate that leadership. Now comes the fun part. That concludes the formal remarks, but if you could direct your attention to Des and Bill as they unveil the 2019 Boston Marathon banners. Bill and Des.